Hey there, and welcome back to Mind Window. Hey there, and welcome back to Mind Window. Before we dive in, just take a second with me. How are you really doing today? Have you ever found yourself wondering, why is my love life always so difficult? Why do I keep falling for the wrong person, getting into one toxic relationship after another that leaves me feeling exhausted, drained, and emotionally bruised? You're not alone. It's a silent struggle for so many. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this painful cycle. And I promise, if you stay with me until the end, what we uncover might just change everything you thought you knew about love. So let's start by tearing down a common myth. What does it actually mean to be with the wrong person? For me, it has nothing to do with a lack of that initial heart-pounding movie-like chemistry. In fact, a relationship built solely on that electrifying spark is on shaky ground. As the renowned anthropologist Helen Fisher explained in her famous TED Talk, the euphoric rush of romantic love can light up our brains in the same way a powerful stimulant does. And just like any high, it eventually fades. That exhilarating chemistry can't be the foundation for something built to last. So if it's not about the initial spark, what are the real red flags we should be looking for? In my experience, it often boils down to two fundamental signs. The first, and maybe the most soul-crushing sign, is that you start to feel worse and worse about yourself. In this relationship, your confidence is chipped away piece by piece. You feel disrespected. The person who is supposed to be your safe space is constantly criticizing you, making you doubt your own worth. You become afraid to show your true self, terrified they won't accept the real you. Slowly but surely, you start to disappear. You prioritize their wants over your own needs. Your emotions become completely dependent on their mood, and the time you once had for yourself vanishes. But please hear me on this. A person who truly loves you is supposed to be your biggest cheerleader. They should inspire you, encourage you, and help you grow into the most authentic version of yourself, not crush your spirit. The second sign is that you and your partner frequently fall into these heavy, uncomfortable silences. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a beautiful, intimate silence that exists between two people who are deeply connected. You don't need words to feel the love in the room. But psychologists point out a massive difference between that intimate quiet and the tense, awkward silence that hangs in the air when a relationship is in trouble. A true connection means you feel at ease just being with someone, no pressure to talk or do anything. But when the silence feels like you're walking on eggshells, it's often a way of avoiding the real issues. It's the calm before the storm. And it's not just the silence. When you two do talk, notice how often it ends in conflict. Yes, disagreements are normal. They can even build trust when you work through them with compromise and understanding. But there's a limit. Research shows that in happy, stable relationships, the ratio of positive to negative interactions is about 5-to-1. If you've reached a point where almost every conversation becomes a battle, and even after trying everything, you never find a resolution, that isn't something you can afford to ignore. Beyond these two major signs, a quick Google search for signs you're with the wrong person will give you dozens more. But honestly, there's one thing I want to tell you that's more powerful than any list. Trust your intuition. If you have that deep, unsettling feeling in your gut that something is off, listen to it. This all leads to the real heart-wrenching question. Why does this keep happening? The answer often lies in a powerful psychological phenomenon called imprinting. This imprint is a subconscious blueprint formed by a combination of factors from your childhood, including how you received or were deprived of love, intimacy, and security from your parents or caregivers. Dr. Harville Hendrix built on this idea with his theory that our attraction to others is often an unconscious desire to fix our past. Essentially, his theory suggests that we are subconsciously drawn to a partner who mirrors the traits of our caregivers, and by resolving our issues with this new partner, we are trying to heal the lingering wounds they caused. These relationships present a profound opportunity for healing, but they also hold the terrifying power to rub salt in those old wounds. For example, if you had a highly critical father, you might find yourself irresistibly drawn to a partner who is also intensely critical. On a deep, unconscious level, you're trying to finally win the love and approval from your partner that you never received from your father, hoping to heal that original wound of rejection. It's a heartbreaking truth that for those of us who grew up in abusive or broken homes, chaos can start to feel normal. We can become so accustomed to the yelling, the tension, and the pain that we internalize it as just a part of life. And what's worse, we carry that normal with us into adulthood. We find ourselves subconsciously drawn to partners who mirror that past. The ones who drink too much, the ones with a short fuse, the ones who need to control everything. It's like a script we didn't write but can't stop acting out, even when we are desperately trying to find a different story. And that leads to the second reason, a deeply rooted low self-esteem. So often, we choose the wrong person simply because, in the quietest parts of our hearts, we don't feel we deserve any better. We let people treat us poorly because it's how we've been treated before. We tell ourselves we're not worth much, so we accept crumbs of affection, thinking, well, it's better than nothing. When you don't respect yourself, you send out a signal to the world that you're an easy target. And this tragically attracts the predators out there, the people who can sense that vulnerability and see you as someone they can easily manipulate and use. But when we build our self-worth, we build a fortress. We learn to draw firm boundaries against toxic behavior. We develop a powerful sense of our own independence, knowing we don't need someone else to complete us. Then there's that gripping, paralyzing fear of being alone. For so many people, the silence of an empty apartment is more terrifying than the noise of a toxic relationship. They rush from one person to the next, a series of dependent connections, all to avoid the sting of loneliness or anxiety. For them, the simple security of having a body next to them is more important than the quality of the soul it belongs to, even if that presence brings constant heartache. But relationships built to fill a void instead of on a foundation of genuine love and respect are destined to crumble. They become breeding grounds for infidelity, constant arguments, and a profound lack of connection. And ironically, many of these people end up feeling a loneliness so deep and devastating, it's far worse than anything they would have ever felt on their own. And finally, there's the crushing weight of FOMO, the fear of missing out, and the relentless pressure from society. Our biological clock seems to tick louder and louder, and the world bombards us with a single message: settle down, get married, have a family. You scroll through social media and see an endless parade of engagement photos, wedding anniversaries, and baby announcements. It's so easy to feel like you're being left behind, that your life won't be complete or meaningful until you've checked those same boxes. So desperate for that feeling of security and care, we dive headfirst into a relationship without taking the time to think, to truly know the person we're giving our heart to. And then one day, we wake up and realize that real love, real marriage, it's a universe away from just swiping left or right on a dating app. There's this passage I read once that really puts it into perspective. We keep repeating the same mistakes, doing the wrong things, and meeting the wrong people. The truth is, sometimes failing to find the right person isn't about bad luck. It's about not being able to let go of our own mistakes. People who are caught in this painful cycle of failed relationships often ask the same haunting questions. Why isn't my sacrifice ever enough? Why do I always end up with the wrong person? But the hard truth is this: love is one of the few things in this world that you can't earn, no matter how hard you try. It's not a transaction. So when a love is lost, don't torture yourself trying to figure out why your efforts weren't reciprocated. When it's time to let go, you have to let go. When it's time to walk away, you have to walk away. If you don't, true happiness will only drift further from your reach. And please, stop telling yourself you always meet the wrong people. The source of the pattern, the root of the pain, it lies within you. The most profound answer to the question of who we should love, once again, is found by looking in the mirror. Every single relationship we experience, good or bad, comes with a lesson designed to help us grow. When you can cultivate a true sense of peace within your own mind, your relationships will begin to flow in that same circle of calm, gentle energy. Because when all is said and done, love is still the thing that brings us the most profound happiness. No matter what you've been through, please give yourself a reason to believe in it again. Give yourself a heart strong enough to trust in its possibility. Because to stop believing in love is to welcome despair and to let your life lose the incredible strength it was always meant to have. Many of my friends have told me, when you fall in love, you have to dive in head first, give it your all so you don't have regrets later. But deep down, I've never really felt that way. I approach every relationship with a sense of care and caution. It's not because I'm transactional or trying to calculate the odds. It's because I genuinely value every single person who steps into my life. I cherish them, and I think seriously about what our connection means. It's also because I always want to leave a gentle path for us both to retreat if things don't work out. A way to protect myself and to protect them, to make sure neither of us gets shattered in the process. Love is so often ruled by our emotions, but love without reason is a blind journey waiting for a fall. It's like your heart is painting the world in the most beautiful colors, but those vibrant shades can make you completely overlook the bright red flags waving right in your face. I know it might sound like I'm being harsh on my own heart, but I have to be honest. In the very beginning of a relationship, it's so much healthier to let things unfold slowly. Just take a gentle stroll together instead of sprinting headfirst into the unknown. This creates a space that allows genuine interest and attraction to blossom over time, rather than just drowning you in a sudden, overwhelming storm of emotions. The truth is, there's no secret formula for love. Everyone's way of loving is unique, which is why you have to listen to your heart. But please, never completely ignore the quiet whispers of your mind. It's not always that you're choosing the wrong person. Sometimes it's the heavy burden of expectations you carry, that feeling that things have to be this way or they must be that way. The constant demand and expectation, the need to perfect another person and the relationship itself is the real reason you end up feeling so exhausted. If you feel trapped in this cycle, I invite you to just slow down a little. Think more about yourself. Be kinder to yourself. Rebuild your self-confidence and spend more time simply having fun, talking, and truly, deeply getting to know the person standing right in front of you. My deepest wish for all of you is that you always love and are loved in return, abundantly and truly. If this message resonated with you, if it opened a small window into your own mind, please show your support with a like and consider subscribing to our channel, Mind Window. If you found this helpful, sharing it would mean the world to us. And we'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. What's your philosophy on love? Let's continue the conversation.